Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly. This is primarily a drone show. We'll be sharing adventures from all over the world. We hope to have interesting guests every week, and we're glad that you tuned in tonight. We'll be flying different drones in different locations. We encourage viewer participation in the chat. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Every week we'll have another interesting guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll be sharing various adventures by our guests as well as myself. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. It's Thursday night, 7 p.m. and I got another great show lined up. Excuse me. I'm down in Florida. I don't know if anybody recognizes the background, but I had a busy day today. You know, I was stuck in this condo having hurricane windows installed. So I didn't get out flying at all today. But they're almost finished with the job. All they got to do is put on a couple of final touches tomorrow morning, and then an inspector comes from the village, and he gives his approval. So, but anyway, enough of that. But I did fly last night. You know, I got a nice flight in for sunset over the marina here, and I have to say, I missed it. I miss flying here. You know how I love the $1 million yachts, and there were a couple of new ones, but the video's not ready to go, so I can't share that one. But you know, those guys up in Rhode Island, they were, you know, blessed with the second largest tall ship in the world, crane ship in the world, up there right by Newport. I know they were flying from Jamestown Island, if I remember right, and they got some awesome, spectacular shots of this crane ship. And if you haven't seen them, it's worth your while to go to Facebook, you know, look at the groups, the various groups, but primarily the Rhode Island Drone Meetup group. That's where most of the photos and videos of these crane ships were shown. And Mark Fisher led the pack. You know, he put out the first few, and then a guy named Ab, you know, he went and flew with him, and he put out some incredible. I could spend another 10 minutes naming the guys who flew it. Michael Blade was there, but anyway. But then the ship left that area and came down to Long Island, and I'm saying, I don't know where it was going to service some wind turbines offshore. So I'm trying to track it down. How am I going to find out which wind turbines, where these wind turbines are? But I says, all right, let me go to that secret app. You know, a lot of you guys know the secret app that we use to track marine traffic. And I tracked it. I checked it first thing that morning, and I saw it. It was out by Montauk Point on Long Island, and it was heading west. And I planned on going to the Shinnecock Inlet area in Hampton Bays and trying to fly from there. And I was really hoping it would be close to shore, but it wasn't. It was out there, away, to say the least. But I had brought the Mavic 3 Pro with me, and I sent that drone up, and you know, I seen it as we were driving there. You could see it off in the distance, but I says I'm never going to be able to pick it up. But I gave it my best shot, and I was able to spot it. So take a look at this video. And that's Shinnecock Inlet. Sent the Mavic 3. And you know who my VO was, guys? My wife. She came with me.
Second largest crane ship in the world.
There she is. She took her first drone photos this day, and I was so proud of her. But anyway, there's the ship, 10 miles offshore, and I used the zoom, as John Connecticut Pirate and I like to call it. But I probably blew it. I was just so happy to get it. But if you really want to see that ship up close, go to the Rhode Island Drone Meetup group and look at the post that those guys up there put out. But this is the Shinnecock area, the Shinnecock Bay right there. That is a county park. You need a county UAV permit to fly from there, technically. But I don't think you can cross it. I'd have one, and I renewed it recently. And there's a nice waterfront restaurant. But that's enough of that. If you want to watch the rest of that, just go to my channel and watch it. But now's the time, because I think Gary ran out of shrimp and lobster. So I would like everybody, please, to give Gary Gauldin from Virginia a warm welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ray.
Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live.
Glad to be a part of this. I've been a fan for about a year now, as I learned about you and your show. Started watching some shows, and I got to know some of the people who have been a part of your South Florida meetup, and like B-Rad, who lives right here in Richmond. We've become wonderful friends, and yeah, it's been great.
Brad, he's a big part of it. He's on the drone committee, and he helps a great deal. And I don't think I have it because I moved my desk around. But he makes the coasters for us. And where the heck? I don't have the ID card out handy, but he makes up the ID cards for the lanyards. Brad is great. Really.
I've got one too. See?
Yeah, there you go. So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He does some really cool work in the 3D. Matter of fact, we were going to talk, I think, some point today, maybe about some of the events that I've done. But this was a cool thing. We needed some trophies, so I went to a trophy dealership. Got a trophy, but nobody makes a drone topper. And so something cool that Brad does is this 3D stuff.
He made that? He made that?
Yes, he made this.
He made this God.
Stuff. So we had trophies to give away. This one we didn't give away that day. It was for the NIST course. You familiar with the NIST course?
Yes, I sure am. Yes.
We had one set up, but nobody wanted to compete,
Really? They wouldn't do those little
they were more interested
in pass?
Yeah, they were more interested in like the fly-throughs and the obstacle course, right?
I know I'm very familiar with one in close quarters. You got to do a little drone in close quarters.
Yep.
And Rob Kamada, he's a very good friend of mine, one of the best drone pilots, probably on the East Coast anyway, not just New York State. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he had some bad luck when he was flying with me recently. I think I told you that we were searching, for a missing swimmer, and he came along with me, and he had sent his Mavic 3 Pro up, or Cine. It might have been the Cine, actually. Yeah. And a seagull took it out of the sky, believe it or not.
Oh no! Yeah. I have two of the Cines, and I love them. It's a great drone. Has been one of my go-tos. Matter of fact, I use it all day today, and that this is a special drone. It really is. I've enjoyed the Cines, and I have crashed both of them at some point or another, but haven't lost them yet.
That's good. But I enjoy flying with Rob, and we fly quite a bit together. But he's also the chief drone pilot for the Syosset Fire Department. He volunteers his services doing that.
And that's why he practices the NIST course, which is great.
Yes, he's actually recently became a NIST certified instructor for New York State.
A proctor, I think is what they call that. And that's cool.
So I'm hoping he'll be able to certify me.
Are you 107?
No, I'm not. No, okay. I'm happily retired. Mm-hmm. I do not want to go out and work.
Right. I'm pushing
once in a while. I get the bug, but no, not really.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
it's never too late. It's never too late, and it's good to have for a number of reasons. Because I mean, I'm actually making a living right now, as a drone pilot, and of course, you can't do that without the 107. You've got to have that. Otherwise, the FAA will come knocking on your door and say, "Hey, we need this from you." So, good opportunity to
hey,
do
Paul, how you doing, Paul? All right, let me mention a couple of people in the chat. I usually welcome in everybody, and I know Josh, he was number one, and I think Angel was right behind him. But the chat has gone by so far, guys. I'm not going to go all the way back, so I apologize about that. But I know I saw Alex Escardo. He's one of our drone superstars. He's in the chat. He's a drone pilot down in Miami. And Ron Johnson's in the house. Michael Blade, I talked about him earlier. How you doing, Michael? That was incredible the way you got the second largest crane ship, really. And then we got Jeremy. He's in the house, some drone guy. And I'm sporting his merchandise for the 6th annual South Florida Drone Meetup.
I need one of those.
And I got a nice coffee mug, too. And let me show one more thing. I know people probably get annoyed if I do this, but go to sfdmshop.com and you can see all the merchandise he has, really. And they're great prices, too. But anyway.
Wow. You got the merch
so
already.
Yeah. We believe in starting early, and Jeremy jumped on it, and I was amazed at how quickly he does things.
Yeah, good.
He said he was going to do it, and within a week it was up and running.
Yeah.
Really.
Did Jeremy
he's very
logo
involved
too?
with the Northeast Drone Meetup. Also, are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay, that's going to be up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, September 5th to the 7th. Okay. And I highly recommend you go, Gary, because you will meet all these guys. Most of them are going.
No, I want to do more.
John Gregory and Steve Jenness and Mark Fisher are running it, more or less.
Yeah.
And, well, same thing. It's a free event like we do in South Florida.
On my website, I have an events page.
Anybody in the chat wants more information about that, get a hold of those guys.
I have an events page on my
I don't know,
my page.
Go ahead.
And if anybody has anything going on, email it to me and we'll put it on our events page, because we've got everything, all the big shows all around the world we have mentioned on there. But of course, we put anybody else's shows that's got something that's drone related. We put it on the events page, and it's in there month by month. So you can click on there and see if there's anything in your area or that you want to attend. Yeah.
I tell you, I'm amazed that your page set up and your show. You were kind enough to let me be a guest on it, and I felt honored. So thank you for that.
It was a pleasure having you. We've been fortunate enough to have a couple of what I call the drone superstars in the business. We had Ken Herron. We've had you. We've really had some lucky. We've been lucky enough to have some people grace our show, which, if anybody wants to watch it, it's on YouTube as well at I Fly Drones USA. And of course, our friend B-Rad has helped both on the hosting it, as well as he's been a guest initially.
And B-Rad's, he's in the house now. We gotta talk very, very highly of him now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Don't say anything
hey,
bad.
Brad. We already talked about you, Brad.
He went to CES, and I gave him a pocket cam so he could just run with the Pocket 3, and he covered all the cool stuff, all the drone stuff going on there, and then came back and reported that on the show. So it's great to have like people that have attended these other things. Just like when he attended yours, we of course had him tell us all about your event. So that was great. And then of course, part of that is I had him interview you. So that was great to have that.
Yeah. No, and he did a great job doing it. I felt so relaxed. I was nervous initially walking to our little spot that we did, but he did a great job. So,
hey,
what other drones do you fly personally?
Oh gosh, I have 24 drones right now.
24? That might be the record. That might be the record that I've heard.
Over here behind me, these are all my drone cases. Some of my stuff, like I've got 2 Phantom RTK. You familiar with RTK? Do you know what that is?
No, not really. No.
So you've ever seen
If you want
the
to
old
explain
Phantom?
it briefly.
Yeah, it's got the little top hat on it, and we use those when we're doing really precision mapping. And then I have the newest version, the Enterprise 3E, and that also has the little cap on top of it. And we use a base station, and we do construction mapping, and it's down within a centimeter of accuracy.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Really. I'm trying. I'm sort of. I know I missed a lot of comments, guys. I didn't do it on purpose. It just went by so quick. So I apologize for that. And again, I usually acknowledge every viewer, and I know I missed a lot of people, so I apologize for that. But anyway, where's your favorite place to fly? In Virginia or where?
You know, there's a place, and if ever I did something like what you just did, where just invited everybody to come, there we live on the river. Richmond, Virginia is
James River.
The James River, correct? The
Yeah, I
capital
flew
city
there.
right here, and it has Class 5 rapids right in the middle of our city, so you can get some beautiful shots of people on kayaks doing some fancy stuff. But there's a place downtown that's a cool place to go drone. But I'll tell you the funny thing. You're going to laugh at me, Captain. I don't go out to have as much fun as I used to. I did it about a month ago. Just took my drone out and shot stuff for fun. 99% of what I do on a daily is monetary, you know, and so some of the fun has gone out of it. And I need to spend more time doing just what you do, and that is enjoying the hobby, right? That's
anyway.
Really
Paul has a question. I don't mean to interrupt you, but he has a question because you mentioned how many drones you have, but how many batteries do you have?
It depends on the drone. Like for my Mavic series, I think I'm up to 16 Mavic batteries. I like for the 3. I've got a drone for sale right now that's a Mavic 1, and I have 9 batteries for it. It just depends. My Phantom batteries, I probably at one point probably had 24, 25, but because you know those things are old, they start to swell. I'm probably down to 12. You know. 14.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And we got Scott Jackrabbit FPV in the house. How you doing, Scott? Yeah. No, that's a big thing, and you know, battery maintenance is so important. Do you take care of your batteries? I'm sure you do.
Fortunately, DJI's batteries are pretty smart. You know, they kind of take care of themselves. But one of the things that I do, because I fear a fire, you know, these things are extremely dangerous. Now, the FPV batteries are even worse. But even all of my other batteries, I have those steel containers, ammunition containers that the Army uses, right? You can buy them at Harbor Freight and places like that. And I buy those. They're metal. And I put all of my batteries, once charged or not charged, into those. I have them all labeled by what type of battery is in it, and I stuff those full of those batteries at night so that God forbid I don't have a fire.
Yeah, no, I worry about fires also. Every once in a while, I've left mine plugged in overnight, and you know it's not a good habit to get into.
Right.
Or if you leave and go shopping or something. Because I've heard of house fires starting that way, and a lot of people in the chat know somebody who no longer is in the chats with us, but his house started on fire. Yeah, but I got to say thank you again to everybody for watching the show tonight, and thank you for being on, Gary. Really, you know.
Hey, I recognize one of the names, Flying Flynn. I know that.
Yeah, John, sure, he's a drone celebrity up in Michigan.
Yep. I've run into him. I think we're Facebook friends, and a couple other names. I'm sure there are. I've been reaching out, you know, onto Facebook because a lot of people know you, and a lot of people know B-Rad, and some other guys that I know, and I've just been trying to connect with everybody I can.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there's so many people. I mean, I keep a list in my phone. I used to keep it on a sheet of paper, and I would put first names with their channel and try to remember them. But as I'm getting older, I'm getting very forgetful with names and faces, and it's so embarrassing, really. But
Yeah, same.
um, now there's a new thing that just popped up. Something about sharing your link. But if you want to share your link to your channels, guys, please put them
Well,
in the
yeah, well,
chat.
sure. My website, which I'm very proud of, is iflydrones.com.
That's
And
easy.
yeah, and in it you'll see that I've got a lot of different. I got my pictures of my fleet on there, but a lot of different things that we're doing that I have on there. Some is the monetary stuff that services that we offer, but I put a lot of other things on there that I hope are interesting to people, including our version, and that's their set back there behind me of one we do called Points of Interest, which is our drone cast, if you will. I call it a drone cast instead of a live. It's not live stream. We shoot it, and I do a little editing, add a lot of graphics and photos and things like that to make it interesting, and then we put it up. We do one about every 2 or 3 weeks, and that's fun. That's on YouTube. And most of my other social media, which I don't do enough with, is that I Fly Drones USA. So all those.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go search for it again in a minute. When I show the viewer video of the week, and I'm going to do that very shortly. And everybody was wondering which video I'm going to show, but I know you guys will like it. So, and I try to keep up the comments, but it's hard. At least it's hard for me. So where, I would say, let me ask you a question of where is the most exotic place that you have flown? Or would you like to fly in a foreign country someday?
I took my drone to Greece. So I got to fly in Mykonos. I got to fly actually over the Parthenon, which was incredible. Right. I was almost certain, and I did join ESA. That's we have the FAA in America. They have ESA in Europe. In Europe,
right?
Yeah, and I did all the same things you have to do. I registered myself, and if I needed, to have
what country did you use to get that Part 107 equivalent in Europe? Which country?
I didn't have to take any testing. I just
no.
It was just a matter of joining their group and suggesting that I already had 107 in the U.S. and nobody questioned it. And I needed clearances. It didn't have quite the same thing as like what is it, Lance? They didn't have Lance over there, but they did ask you to email them if you were going to fly in a certain area. So
right. So congratulations, Paul, on your new car. Yeah, that's great. Chevy Malibu. I always like the Malibu. Yeah.
I think you and I drive in the same car. I saw a picture with you and your wife. Are you driving the Traverse? Is that the Chevy?
No, it's a Hyundai Santa Fe, the new redesign.
Okay.
2024 Santa Fe. Yeah. But the Traverse is a Chevy. I know that, and it's a good-looking vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfect drone vehicle. It's comfortable, but it's got so much room. Like your vehicle, it looks like it's got kind of a station wagon kind of length to it.
Yes, it's a seven passenger, but I need a 7 passenger like I need a hole in the head, So I just lay those seats down, and I've got more room for the drones and everything. Chairs.
Same here.
I need chairs when I fly now. So
that's right.
So what is your feeling about landing pads? Because I have one right here, and this is going to be the new giveaway for the month. The monthly giveaway is going to be a drone landing pad donated by StartRC. So what do you think about using landing pads?
I use them all the time for many reasons. When we're out there on construction and solar sites, it's very dusty, very dirty space. Right. When you put a large landing pad, and I use the who makes the one I've got? One in the back there.
Hoodman,
yeah, Hoodman, and it has the weight.
See, how did I know?
You must, yeah, that's a good one, right? There is only one good one, but it's got that weight in it around the outside. It folds up really nice.
Not now, guys. Not now. We're gonna do it later, though. We'll do it towards the end of the show.
Oh, they're putting the numbers in.
Yeah. Later.
But when you have something below and your drone comes down, you're not blowing up all that extra dirt and dust, right? It helps that. And plus, when you're trying to identify where you're coming back to,
They're not listening to me. They're not listening to me.
forget.
They
So
want me to
what
do
was
the
in?
contest now.
They can't wait.
No, wait. We're gonna do it after the viewer video. I promise.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're great, and I think everybody should use a landing pad. If you're not using one now, you really miss it, because even if you just land gravel, things like that, you might slip over a little bit and chip a blade. So landing pad's great. It really does help you identify when you're way away and you got a good sized landing pad. You see that orange circle in the distance.
Yes.
You know where you're going to go.
Right. Yep,
Yeah.
You're right, and it picks up that home point real well. But anyway, my tip of the week this week, nothing real sophisticated, but just do a check of the area before you take off. Some guys don't do that. They put the drone down, they take off. I know one guy took off. There was a tree right above him. Mavic 3 come right down.
Ow.
And I know people have hit wires. I think you have too. And we all know the famous saying that Ken Herron come up with about trees. But anyway, so just check the area, guys, before you take off. Yeah,
I think we're all going to crash. I mean, it's people that just get started in drones, and I laugh and I say, "Oh, when you crash it," and I say, "Oh, I'm never going to crash it." No, you're going to crash it. It's just a matter of time, right? Opportunity. Yeah. So so just get ready for that.
Michael just started using his landing pad again. Yeah. Okay. Good, Michael. Yeah. And Jeff Norman makes fun of me for using one, by the way. I'm going to put it out there. He gives me a hard time every time. He says, "You're just creating attention to yourself." I said, "Well, I got nothing to hide, Jeff,
Right.
So
you shouldn't. I think it helps people too that recognize, hey, there's an operation going on here. I even put cones down.
Yes,
around
I do too.
Space, because I don't want somebody walking into the space where my drone's going to come back to, right? So it's a good idea. It's a great idea.
Well, we had a drone pilot, and he was flying, and a car ran over his drone as soon as he landed. The car purposely drove over it.
Oh, purposely?
Yep.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Yeah.
No, that's just ridiculous. People are so cruel sometimes.
Yeah. Sad. It's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, again, if anybody has any questions for Gary, please put them in the chat. I will keep an eye out. Gary, you keep an eye out too. And Paul, I know Paul keeps an eye out for me. So thank you, Paul. And John Gregory too. He does that a lot. Thank you. Tell us about the event. I know you were involved with an event and you had kids there. You were teaching them how to fly.
Yeah, you're probably talking about one of our events we just did this winter, and it was really a wonderful event. We called it the winter fly-in,
Mm-hmm.
And it was indoors in a baseball field that locally, just really a few miles from my home. There's a big Little League group. They have been in the Little League Championship over the years, and so there's a good amount of support and money in this group. They built an indoor field, and I think
we got to. I don't mean to throw you off, but we got a question from Jeremy, so maybe we can answer that before it scrolls up.
Yeah, I do know of the Unos in Richmond. I know of one of them. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Jeremy works there quite often.
Oh, okay. So the restaurant, sure.
Okay. But anyway, what's Gary's favorite drone to fly? From John, Connecticut Pirate.
Right now the Flip is like a real treat. It's so small. It's safe around people. And I was shooting commercial stuff today with these lawn guys that, and I had to get as tight as I could. So I pulled the Flip out and literally was flying about 3 feet from their head. And it's a fun thing to fly because it's small. It's just super light. I love that. That's a great drone. And when you pull it out, it turns itself on. I mean, what's not to love about
automatically, right? Automatically, right?
Yeah,
yes, I heard it.
You unfold it, it's on. And
amazing.
And while it's it's a kind of a consumer drone, over some of the other stuff that I don't. I just think it's a fun, great drone.
I gotta plug one of our first sponsors for the 6th annual South Florida Drone Meetup, and that's Dennis Lovelady, because he ordered a flip as a giveaway prize for us.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
he has it. So,
Mhm.
so some lucky attendee's got to go home with a flip. And he did it the same thing last year too.
That's
but
special.
Anyway,
Yeah, great drone.
All right, let me see. I know I missed more comments. I know Steve Janess is in the house now. How you doing, Steve? I apologize, guys. I'm missing. Okay, here we go. I missed one. There it is. I got to go back and get it. Do you fly? Can you read it?
Let's see. Hey, Gary, do you fly FPV? Well, I have an Avata 2. I had the Avata 1 before that. I don't think that's really FPV. I know that is the cheating version. I have done some of the things to it so that I am flying more really, ADI mode as opposed to GPS. But no, I'm not really a qualified FPV guy yet. I'm interested. I've been quizzing some of my friends that do some really good FPV. I said, can you help me put together one? Because I really think I'm ready to try.
Good. I didn't mean to cut you off. You were talking about the event with the kids and everything.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to see the video? I got a highlight video.
Yeah. All right. Let me show it. Let me share that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, I give you a lot of credit for doing this, really.
Okay, sure.
Everybody who was involved.
Here we go. Is it running?
I
can stop. Hold on. Oh, there you go.
There it is.
So here we go. So
you can narrate over it if you want.
Sure. This is the indoor park. Really wonderful facility. And this is some of the trophies we gave away. This was, well, you can see for a second there. We'll come back to that. These were some simulators given to us from, what do they call them? Oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart again. But anyway, great company set us up with some of those. And we had all kinds of people come that some of them were FPV guys, some of them were enthusiasts. We had these drones just for folks to fly that never flew before, a bunch of NEOs. And there's Kim, she was helping, older people and young people learn to fly. And that's a real thrill. Just when you can teach a kid, how to fly. It's like the saying you have on your show, Teach a kid to fly.
I love to see kids involved, but you have a lot of kids. This is so organized, really.
Well,
they must have had a ball, right?
Yeah, I come from an entertainment and event programming stuff. I owned an AV company for years, so I kind of have a little bit understanding of how to throw live events, and so I have pushed that into what I'm doing with stuff like this. And we created quite a sophisticated space. I don't know if you can see right in the background there. There's a cube that's spinning, and you had to fly through the cube while it was spinning, and all that kind of stuff. The FPV guys loved it, and we just had
very cool, really.
Had an absolute blast. And it gives us some of those trophies.
Well, if everybody wants to watch the rest of that, subscribe to Gary's channel, watch it, and do it now. Don't wait until after the show. Subscribe now, and tell Gary you're subscribing if you do it. So we got eyes in the sky in the house. How you doing? Thank you for popping in. I'll make you a moderator tomorrow. And I fall behind in the comments, but no, I hope you can make it to the 6th annual South Florida Drone Meetup. I know you have a busy schedule, but squeeze it in if you can.
Yeah, it was something going on the same week as that one, and I would have come. I would have come. I really wanted to be a part of that. It sounds like a lot of fun. Brad goes like a couple days early. I think he was with you for 4 or 5 days. And,
yes, a lot of people do that now.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool thing. Hanging out with people who love to fly is something that I am all about.
It's like meetups all day, all week long. To be honest with you. And then some people stay afterwards. There was one year, the first one, I forget who went on my boat the first. I think it might have been Brad. Brad stayed a couple of days later. I had a boat at the time, so I said, Brad, let's go on my boat. We'll do a little fishing. I'll take you to one of my secret spots, and we'll fly drones. And the following year was Michael Wright. He did it, and then I sold my boat. So Can't take people for boat rides anymore.
Hey, I see they're calling us old guys on here, which is funny because, we were talking about before the show. It's funny how there's so many of us that are old. I mean, there's a lot of young guys too, but how many of us over 60 years old you would never have expected for us to be messing with drones? And that's something that we're hugely about. I even read something that I thought was so true. I used to be a big skateboarder back in.
Oh, were you? Really?
Loved it. And they said more guys that fly FPV particularly, and drones in general, were guys who skateboarded because they love the thrill, but their bodies are too old to get on the board anymore. So this is kind of a similar type of outlet. And I totally agree. I think for me particularly, I've lost a lot of capability to run and things that I used to do and love to do back in the day. And this is a huge outlet for me.
Yes, it is. I can't say enough good things about drone flying. Really, I never thought I'd be half as good as I am, and I'm not by any means a good drone pilot. I'm a very conservative. I like to say I'm a wimpy drone flyer, but I have fun doing it. So
you're not too wimpy because you fly in Florida, and so there's always a chance you're going to either get hit by something in the air or land in a water pond with an alligator. So there's a lot of already just to take off in Florida. You got my vote. You're not a wimp.
I've only flown over an alligator once, and that was over in Fort Myers. I was visiting my cousins over there. They lived in a golf community that has ponds.
Sure.
And this 14-foot alligator would lay on the bank. And we were going out, and I said, "I'm sorry, guys, but I got to go try to film that alligator." And I took the drone out. I sent it over, and I didn't harass him or nothing like that, but I got some great shots of that.
That's cool.
That alligator. And then Dennis Lovelady composed a song about that alligator, and he called it Big Al.
I got to hear that one somewhere to find that.
And you probably don't know, but Dennis Lovelady is one of the entertainers that performed for us at the South Florida Drone Meetup.
Right. He plays the ukulele. Is that right?
Yes, and he sings. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does the morning sun up.
And he does it every morning, every weekend morning, Saturday and Sunday, flies sunrise with his drone, and he plays the ukulele and he sings.
Yeah. See, you never know what direction drones are gonna go, and that's an original one right there. When I first heard about that, I said, "No way." Yeah.
Right.
That's great.
And over the years, Dennis has become a very good friend of mine. So
very cool.
But anyway, I think let's see now. I'm going on my cheat sheet. Yeah, I have a cheat sheet. That's what I use.
Oh, good. Okay, there you go.
Actually, I switched to a little notebook, but that's back in New York. So I went back to my business cards.
Sure.
Old business cards.
That's old school.
Any other questions? Let me just see if anybody else got any questions for you. All right. All right, guys. And Dusty's in the house. East Coast Thrills. How you doing, Dusty? Yeah, Jody's in the house. How you doing, Jody? Good to see you. But anyway, and let me see if I can get this viewer video playing without blowing the whole screen. So, and it's going to come to us all the way from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Anybody know who it is? And it's John Flynn, Flying Flynn Media.
Here we go.
Hey, John. All right. I would love to fly there. That's where the rich people stayed at, that complex.
It looks like each one of them has its own boat.
And John, if you're in the chat, let us know what drone you're flying. All it says is 4K. Is it the Mini 4K? I'd be surprised if it is. But I have one, and I love flying the Mini 4K. Great video, John. Well, I got a new place to add to my drone flying list. Very, very cool, John. Nice video. But if you guys want to watch the rest of that, subscribe to John's channel and watch it. And while I'm talking about subscribing, subscribe to each other. If you're not subscribed to the different guys in the chats, do it. We appreciate it. You know, I'm not the best editor, video pilot, drone pilot, photographer, but I just put them out there and we appreciate it. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. Great stuff. I mean, I spend a lot of time when I'm not working. My wife watches TV and I just scroll on my phone. And I can't even find anything on TV that I like anymore. I just try to go through YouTube channels and see what people are doing and hear talking about, you know, whatever's happening, especially right now with the DJ ban possibly coming back on us. I want to watch everything I can, trying to get the latest, you know, information.
Well, I put a post on Facebook this morning and I copied Trump on it. So.
You did good.
But anyway, John says he was flying the Mini 3 Pro. Great video, John. Yeah.
Speaking of Trump, so,
and I don't like to talk politics, but
I'm not going to talk. I'm not talking politics, but I have a hat that everybody thinks is a MAGA hat. But if you read
I would have thought that.
It says, "Make aerial video great again."
Oh, that's great, man! I'm telling you, that's a great.
Everybody sees
it. But you better be careful because you may get shot wearing that.
That's right. Oh yeah, definitely. I know.
I think it's the other one. I shouldn't use that kind of give somebody ideas. No,
apparently
I've had my issues with Trump hats. Believe me. But anyway, we'll leave it for another day or another channel. I think tonight. Actually, it's right on now. I think Art has a political channel, a YouTube channel going right now. But don't go over there, guys. Watch it later.
You know where I'm heading right after this? Right around a couple miles from my house, that company that does drone shows, they're doing a show tonight at the music venue. And
tell us about it.
I'm going to go back over there. Yeah, that's the guys are called Heirloom and run by guy Jason Johnson out of Charlottesville, Virginia, and he's putting up 100 drones tonight. And him and his dad have put this wonderful business together, and they're doing, you know how these drone shows go. If you've ever seen them, they're only 15, 16 minutes long. It's all they can really keep.
Yeah, I've been to 2 of them. I've witnessed 2 of them in person. Yeah. That's
right. And I went over there today after I finished shooting the commercial work that I was doing today. I went over there and hung out with them, and they were getting all the drones ready on the takeoff pad because it's a several hour process to get ready to put those things up. And and people just don't realize what goes into it. Not only the programming, but they've got base station RTK to keep all those drones aligned perfectly. It's a lot of work. And then, of course, they have to program the show for each night or whatever it's going to be.
I know. I love them. I hope there's one down in Florida next winter when I'm here. And I hope there's one in Long Island again in the summer. But anyway, guys, now's the time. I'm going to do the pick. It's for the Amazon gift card, $10 Amazon gift card. The names are in the hat. And this is sponsored by John, Connecticut Pirate. Thank you, John. We appreciate all your support. But anyway, I'll keep an eye out. You are eligible too. You don't know what the lucky number is. Put it in there, Gary. I usually miss it.
Let's see.
But somebody's very close. And I always say that to get everybody excited. No, another person's very close. Up, somebody got it. All right.
Somebody got the number?
Captain Joe, it wasn't you. 22 was very close. It was 23. I think Paul Wedgwood got it.
Cool.
So,
and that was for the landing? No, that was for the gift card, not the
no,
landing pad.
I'm sorry. That's for the contest for the landing pad. We're going to do a monthly giveaway. I'm sorry, I mixed it up. That's why I hate doing these two different type of prizes. But anyway, Paul, you won the $10 Amazon gift card.
Cool.
And now we'll now I'm gonna just reach in the hat and see who the winner is for May for the Amazon gift card. Let's see here. All right, it's Jody. Jody, when's the $10 Amazon gift card? Very good, Jody.
Yay.
Message me your address and I'll get that out to you. You could send it an email and I could do an e-card. Or if you really want the real card, I'll mail it to you. But anyway, whatever is best for you, Jody. Congratulations. Hey, and Jody's a long-time supporter. I know him from the prior streams that I used to watch when I was first learning about drones. So,
yeah, and that's one of the things I've kind of found about your channel is that there's a lot of people on here been around doing it a long time, you know, and I love that there's such a community. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do with my show and some of the events that I'm throwing is create that community. I love this. And when I saw yours, I just got so excited because I'm like, man, look at all the people that tune in on Thursday to hang out with Captain Ray. You know, it's awesome.
Awesome. Paul says I showed the number earlier. You had to be pretty good if you picked out that number. But anyway, it's all rigged. Ask Warren. Warren knows it's rigged. So, and John Gregory, he knows it's all rigged. But anyway, it's all about having fun, Gary.
Yeah.
Us and me.
Absolutely.
And Johnny,
absolutely.
Especially. So, but anyway, do you have any like plans for the future? What do you think's, I hate to bring up the drone ban, but what do you think's going to happen with that?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny. I do like a lot of things that our president is currently doing, but I think he may be a little fast on the draw on some of these executive orders that he's passed. And when you look, if someone comes out of nowhere that doesn't have any education about what we're doing.
Okay, Paul, sounds good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It would be easy to say, oh, we need to get rid of this. You know, this is connected to the Chinese. We can't have this. But they don't realize that 90% of the country that does this, especially the ones that do it for a living, there's Santa Bob.
Can you imagine Bob's on the phone and he can't tag people?
What? We're friends. We're Facebook.
Thanks for popping in, Bob.
But yeah, I think without an understanding of all the particulars and all of the rescue and you know, the people that are serving the public with these drones, man, if it were to be banned, two questions. One is that would suck. That would suck. But how would they enforce it? That's what I don't understand. You know, that'd be a whole other thing.
I don't think they'd allow them to come in through customs. I don't think,
right.
but you know.
But what about really the drones that are here now?
You're going to be able to fly them, no doubt about it. You're going to be able to fly those drones. Otherwise, there's going to be major problems.
Sure. Yeah.
But all right, good. I got your idea on that. I don't want to belabor it to death. I think everybody has talked about it enough.
I don't know if anybody's going to be making any trips to Canada anytime soon, but
I haven't heard one person going in, buying one, and trying to bring it back over the board.
Yeah.
I have not. If you know somebody, let me know. Call me later.
I heard a friend of a friend, right? But I don't know anybody personally. But I have.
Yeah.
I'm considering the trip, and I don't know if it'll.
Well,
work
you know, Steve Jeunesse, he lives like 18 minutes from the border.
Really?
Well, maybe 22 minutes.
Sure. Well, you know, I looked up, like in Toronto, there's like 17 dealerships, like right there around the area that you could get to, and they probably have stock. And what I thought, somebody said this, somebody had a great idea. If you went in and got one, take all the boxes and put it in a case. So when you come back across and you look at it, it looks like you've owned it forever, right?
Yeah, and Bob would lose one of his biggest sponsors for the Vegas Drone Meetup, DJI. But anyway, Bob, I forgot to mention about the Vegas Drone Meetup. Put the information in the chat. To November. Mm-hmm. Somewhere around the 9th and the 10th, if I remember right. But it's going to be a great meetup out in Vegas.
You know, Ray, the other four, the professional four, which they're calling in the Matrice line, the Matrice 4 is available.
Yes.
You know, through a lot of places. You know,
that's
like
what I've heard.
Panorama,
yes.
And B&H and stuff like that. They've got them. You can get those, and they're pricing right now at about $10,000 for the package.
Yeah, Paul Murray's. He's like 5 minutes. He's on the other side of the bridge.
Jeez, Paul, can I send you $3,000?
In John, Connecticut, he has the Matrice 4T, and he loves it. He loves that drone, and thanks to him is the reason I have a Mavic 3 thermal. So thank you, John. Really, it's on loan. My wife thinks it's on loan. But anyway, I had to pay him with cash. All he wanted was cash. I had to send him cash in an envelope, and I was hoping and praying it would get there. They want a paper trail.
You didn't meet him in a dark alley somewhere?
No, but anyway, no, it's all in the checkbook. I don't have it. The checkbook's in New York, but it's right there. My wife just opens it. She'll say, "Oh boy, look at this." But anyway. I
saw somebody in the chat just said I could send them $3,000. Hey, as long as you're going to Canada, we have an agreement, right?
That's good. I don't think I would, because the one time I did drive into Canada, I was actually filming a TV show, and me and my cameraman, we got pulled over in my van, and they knew we were cops, and they asked us if we had any drugs or guns, and they tore my van apart for 2 hours.
Wow.
In secondary screening, and I am still bitter about it.
Yeah. That sucks. Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, on to more positive things. I love coming to Florida. I love flying in Florida.
How long have you lived in Florida?
I bought this condo back in 2001. So yeah, it'll be 24 years in December.
So you're an official snowbird, right?
No. My residency is in New York still. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
nice.
Hey, Sunstar, good to see you. Thank you for watching tonight.
I took a drone down to Florida about 1.5 years ago. I went to the Drone Nerds. They had their Miami, what do they call that thing? Oh gosh, I can't remember. But they have a good event down there, you know, with the vendors. DJI was there and that kind of stuff. I went there and I took my drone all the way down into Key West and flew out over Key West and out over the water. Got some beautiful stuff there, which was really fun. I mean, it's just something about Florida that's just hard to beat. And there's not a lot of big hills. Nice and flat. No. And the palm trees stay about the same height.
Have you ever flown a drone from a boat, a moving boat?
Yes, I have. And it's not easy.
Really?
I found it was harder than I thought it would be, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, give a few tips, because there was a tip that I didn't know about at the time or forgot to do, and I almost lost my drone. But you tell people what you did.
Right. Well, if you use a Phantom, you know, capture it with your hand. Don't try to land it in the floor of the boat. The hand capture is going to be a little bit better way. You'll get it pretty close and then grab and then cut the engines, right? That was the most success. I did land it inside of a boat a couple times, but we stopped the boat, right? A moving boat is very hard to catch, but a stopped boat is much easier. But it still has a sense, because the boat's rocking and everything else. It was definitely harder.
Did you set the controller to return to the controller rather than?
No.
Oh, you didn't, because that was my big mistake.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't have anybody else to operate the boat. So I was in such a mess, and I almost lost my air too at the time.
Oh,
But
wow.
anyway,
So you were captain of 2 ships.
I'm telling you, I still shake over that one. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Have you ever lost one in the water?
no, not
Yeah.
me. Knock on wood.
I had one of my first Phantoms that I ever owned. It was a Phantom. Well, it wasn't actually the first one, but it was the first Phantom 4 that I'd ever owned. And I was flying over the Chesapeake Bay, and screen went black, and I wasn't visually looking at it. I was just in my screen, and I was kind of up in some shade behind some tree, and
Yep.
it went black, and I hit return to home, and I stuck my head around, and I was looking for it, and I kept praying, and never came back. And you know how sometimes you'll have some of the cache on your drone, so you can see maybe the last flight or part of it on your controller. There was nothing. It was a complete, like, it was there and then it was gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure probably a large bird probably hit it, destroyed it in the initial hit, and
that's a good possibility. Yeah.
Sadly,
that's terrible.
But other times I've had some bad crashes in the woods and things like that, but I've always managed to find my drone every time.
Okay, so share one memorable crash with us.
Okay, so Christmas, maybe 2-3 years ago, there is a boat parade, which you probably have in Florida too, where they take all the boats, they put all the lights on them, and they go down the James River, in the deeper part of the James River, from one point to the next. And we were down at the end of the show, and as they were coming my way, I saw them coming up, and I had kind of flown the area just briefly, get myself familiar with everything, but it was pitch dark at that point. And flying in pitch dark is tough. And I'm doing the first boat that's coming into a view. I'm doing a nice big round circle around it and just keeping it in the center. And as I'm coming around, I knew I was over at about 90 feet, and then there was just nothing I saw that big on the shore. Well, all of a sudden, I watched it tumble to the ground. And when it tumbled to the ground, I could still see light. So I knew it had not hit the water. Well, that side of the river, to get to it, required you to drive about 20 miles to cross the nearest bridge, and then walk through the woods about 1.5 miles to get to the equal side, opposite of where I was. Well, that night I was by myself. I was not going to.
Hey, Trini. How you doing, Trini?
Yep. And so the next morning, I convinced my wife. I said, come on, we're going to go on an adventure. And we started walking through the woods. I knew about where I was when I was opposite of it. And I looked up through the woods, and I saw a huge tree, just an enormous tree, bigger than all the other trees on the shore. And I said, that's got to be it. And we walked down to the shoreline through the woods from where the path that we were on. And there she was. She was laying right there, about probably 8 feet from the water, which that was lucky. And
you were lucky.
She wasn't in perfect shape. She lost a couple of arms and probably all of the props. And I've got a guy here in Richmond. Matter of fact, if anybody out there ever needs anything worked on, there's a gentleman here in that I
repair guy. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah,
his name is Prack. His company is called Repair MD. I gave it to him the next day, and within a week, I was flying that drone again. So
good. That's good. That's a great story.
Yeah, and if you ever do need a repair, you can go to my website at iFlyDrones. Go to the repair section. You can fill out a form, and that goes to me and Prack, and I kind of help manage Prack with the incoming drones, and we get a lot of
very nice.
Probably get 2 a week.
Okay, he's busy then.
He is. Yeah. He is. Yeah. And he has a full-time job. He's actually a police officer.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
And he does that on the side.
Yeah, he does that. Fixes it at night.
Does he fly drones for the department? Do you know?
He does not. He's not on that team. Yeah.
Right. They didn't have drones when I was a cop.
No.
But I had to go up in a helicopter to do anything like that. So, but anyway, Gary, I got to say thank you. The hour has come and gone, and I try to keep it to an hour.
Well, it's a
thank
pleasure.
you so much for being on the show. You were a great special guest, And I know that the people in the chat learned a lot tonight. But
Well,
thank you.
If ever I
And-
can answer any questions, please hit me up.
And now's the time. Anything you want to promote and to say goodbye,
For me,
like your channel again,
listen, yeah, please.
or any events you got coming.
Yeah, we'll probably have something in September. We did this last year. It was a lot of fun. We basically do a what do we call it?
Thank you, John.
We gave the group 20. We gave them 30 targets to go find and shoot a picture of. They had 2 hours, and they had all the coordinates, but they had to get a picture of it and get back to the restaurant where we started, and we did that. And it was a lot of fun. And the best part about that particular one was a girl one. And we'll probably do something like that, or at least a fly-in sort of like yours. It won't be nearly as good as yours, but we'll probably do that in September here in Richmond. So if anybody's
Oh,
interested,
really? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
All right, definitely. Let me know the dates. I don't know how. I know the Northeast Drone meetup in September. So if I were you, I'd stay away from the 5th and the 7th weekend. But
no.
you know,
I'll make sure we don't.
I hope it's not a conflict. But yeah, I flew down on the James River, just to let you know. I met Brad there and a gentleman named Rodney Bell. Do you know Rodney?
Yeah. Everybody knows Rodney. Yeah, he's a big FPV guy.
Another gentleman called Al Duran. Duranify was his channel. You know Al too?
Oh yeah. Yep. There's a bunch of FPV guys that are super cool.
Yeah, and I got to experience the James River. I was nervous, and it was a quick stop because I was on my way back from Florida to New York. So, and I had already made arrangements to meet my cousin in Northern Virginia, Fairfax. So I couldn't spend that much time with him. But the 30 minutes I told my wife ended up being an hour and a half. So.
Well, if you're ever back this way in town again, please come over. I'd love to show you my studio and my drones and take you to lunch or dinner. Well,
thanks. I appreciate that, Gary. But listen, guys, get out there. Excuse me, I still got a little bit of a cough. Fly for fun, but most importantly, fly safely. And we'll see you again next week, same time, same place. And